Yeah, me too. You should probably get that looked at. What up? Comedian Crazy Ray Scanlon here, and I got a joke for you. So last Friday, I was in a meeting with some executives. They were trying to line me up a comedy writing career along with my stand-up comedy. Would help me book gigs and such. The human resources officer looked across the table at me and said, "So what sort of salary were you looking for?" I thought about it for a minute. I said, "In the region of $125,000 a year, depending on the benefits." She said, "Well, what would you say to a package of 5 weeks vacation, 14 full paid holidays, full medical and dental, company matching retirement to 50% of your salary, and a company car leased every 2 years? Say a black BMW, okay?" I was so shocked. I was like, "Wow, are you fucking kidding me?" She said, "Yeah, but you started it." Don't forget that like, hit that follow.
Ahoy, everyone. It's hump day out here. Got some music going. We got Ray Scanlon coming into the show today. We got Vernus is in the house. So we're going to have a smattering of jokes from Ray as we interview him today and as we have a fun time and explore some cool stuff. I see Jose is here. We're going to have some comedians talking science later on. Today, I always think of science when I think of Jose. That was funny. That was funny. So I think we need a little levity today, right? A little levity. As usual, it's a beautiful day here in Los Angeles. I don't know what's going on around there. Got any grapes? We are going to have some grape-like items today. I think you'll enjoy them. It's in the science portion of the show. I don't know how the drums are going right now, but got some pretty serious, dramatic drums. So, welcome to Hump Day. Usually weird stuff happens on Hump Day on this show. Today is no exception, I'm sure. We have the hilarious comedian and someone who is somewhat of a TikTok sensation, as well as a writer, a comedian writer. Comic writer? I don't know what I'm saying. Not only that, but he's coming to us from Alabama. And I know virtually nothing about Alabama, except they have great college football. So I think I've got a lot to learn from Ray Scanlon here. He's going to tell us a crazy story, and I think you're going to enjoy that because he's got some nuts stories. Chuck Goldsmith likes the background. Of course he does, because he shot it himself. So thanks for that, Chuck. That background is awesome. Let's get into the show. Of course, the show always begins with some breathing, and we're gonna do some breathing. I can hear Ray if he's breathing back there. I can hear him. We can all hear if he's breathing, so we want to hear some breaths. He can make some comments if he wants, but he's in the green room right now preparing for the show. Don't know how Ray prepares, but I'm sure it's really extensive and interesting. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. Beautiful background here by Todd Lee from the Moose Lodge. He always sends the coolest backgrounds. We're lucky enough to have great video from people out there in the hummingbird community. And Matt Wright, what does Matt say? Let's see. Let's just make sure the only thing going into noses in the green room is breath. I can't be responsible. He's in there with Boney, and Boney has all kinds of concoctions that he puts together, and some of them might be illegal. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. We've got a lot planned today, so we're going to have to get to it. Let it go. I'm going to teach Ray about Los Angeles. We're going to talk some science. Todd, this is an incredible background. Yes, it is. One more, in through the nose, out through the toes. Yeah, I love that shot. Let it go. I think Todd's becoming somewhat of a cinematographer, and Chuck Goldsmith as well. That was interesting. I lost Ray for a second, so should be fun. Should be fun. I hear also that possibly they're chopping up trees in Ray's neighborhood using a helicopter, so that should be fun. That should be fun. Live shows. Gotta love the live shows. I prefer live though, because then we can mess with people more. I'm gonna do one of Ray's jokes, and then I'm gonna introduce Ray. Okay, here's another one of Ray's. Oh no, I'm not gonna do that because that'll screw everything up. Let's just get on to Ray Scanlon. Let's bring him on here. There he is. He is here. He's here in the house. The applause, the crowd is going wild. Oh my God, I just can't even shut them up. They're just going nuts when they see Ray. All right, it's good to see you. You disappeared for a moment. I was like, oh no.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I was like, oh crap.
Oh wow. We got a little robot talk going on. Like your sound is a little bit robot-y. I'm not sure why. Let's let everything mellow.
No.
Yeah. So Ray, how you doing? It's good to see you.
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Good to you.
All right. All
Yeah.
right. So I don't know.
Other than the I feel like Henry Hill from Good.
You're good. You're all robot-y. But hopefully it'll calm down.
Oh no.
It's weird because we like tested and everything, and then of course.
Yeah, and it was fine.
Yeah, it's doing better now. It's getting a little better. So tell me, Ray.
That might have done.
Yeah, did you grow up in Alabama? Are you from Alabama?
I was born in Texas, and then I was brought up in Alabama.
You were? Wow. I think you might be
a little south of Birmingham.
You might be my first friend from Alabama, I think. I don't know anything about it. I've never been there. Well, tell me about it.
Well, right. I don't know. I mean, it depends on where you're at. There's Birmingham and below, and it's pretty country. And then if you get up to North Alabama, you got all the smarty pants people who work for NASA and work for the Huntsville Science and Space Museum and stuff like that. So it's a nice mix. It's a nice mix.
It is a nice mix. I realize it's unfair to ask somebody about their, state if they've been there their whole life, because it's like asking a fish, like what is water, and they're like, I don't know, I never heard of it.
Yeah, it's like telling somebody, hey, up at that second road to your left, and then up by the big, whatever cherry sign or whatever. And they're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never been there.
Right. When somebody gives you directions, then they're like, yeah, you're going to drive down to the 7-Eleven. You're going to take a right. There's a big tree, and you can totally not picture that. You're like, just forget it. Thank God we don't have to do that anymore. Thank God we have cell phones now that do that stuff for us, because that's crazy. Ganil in the chat room says there's awesome fried chicken in Alabama. Is that true?
There is. Look at me. There's definitely awesome fried chicken in Alabama.
Kamala says, what's the environment like in Alabama? Flora and fauna. Like, what is it like? Is it woodsy? Is it plainsy? What's it like?
It's like it's spotty. Like I said, you got your cities. It looked, if you had Alabama out and you just put 3 dots, one in the top, one in the middle, and one below, That's your 3 major cities throughout the state. And then scattered all around it is, for lack of a better term, but a ding, 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 ding.
I don't think that's a term. I don't think ding, 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 ding is a term.
It is down here.
Behind us now, I have drone footage of Birmingham, Alabama. So people can, check it out. Now, I'd like to know, when did you start doing comedy? How'd you get into comedy? Was that your thing since you were a little kid? Where you're like, I'm going to be a comedian. I'm a class clown. I'm hilarious. As soon as I can grow a beard, I'm going to be a comic. How did it happen for you?
It was the beard. You nailed it right on.
Yeah.
It kind of, I was funny when I was younger and growing up. But I did, I went to college. I did the military. I did some hard work, hard labor type deal. And then went to college. And before I ever went to college, the second time, which was the time that I actually tried, let's put it that way. Yeah. I went out and did a show at the Stardome here in Alabama. And then I did another one, and then I let it go for a few years. And then, like we talked about before, working in the film industry in Alabama is kind of a, if you tell someone, hey, yeah, I also do comedy, they're like, oh, you're either a comic or an actor. You definitely aren't anything else, and it's like, so I kind of didn't
so there's
tell
like a
people that I was
stigma. Like if you say you're a comedian or an actor, people are like, oh, well, then you can't do this other job.
Yeah, they kind of more or less view you that, yeah, you're a creative talent. You're not a person that we would, because I'm talking about working behind the camera. I've acted in some things that really didn't go anywhere, sadly, and still are, though I don't want to be mean to those that there's still people trying in other places, but yeah, a lot of it was behind. So I had to, really push and make them understand that I'm serious. I'm not just a comedian, and I can't just act. I can also do these other things. And then
I thought that was like not happening anymore. You know what I mean? Like when I first came to Los Angeles, I was like, oh, I don't want to be a grip, or I don't want to be this, because people will just think that I'm, not an actor, because that was my goal. And so I was like, you'll pigeonhole yourself into this thing. So I got a job in a completely different industry. So it's just to make money.
A lot of people do. They'll start, or at least down here.
Yeah.
See, all of this is still, it's the wild, wild west to us. Over in LA, y'all have been established for 60, 70 years. Yeah. Atlanta just blew up. It's still a baby. So the surrounding areas are trying to catch up and understand and be like Atlanta and say, what do we need to do that's like them? And like I said, and at the same time, Atlanta's still learning and saying, what can we do to be like them in LA that have already got it down? And so it's a process.
Is that where your market is as an actor and a comedian? Is it Atlanta, or is there work to be done in Birmingham?
There's some stuff to be done in Birmingham. Mainly you're left, and a lot of people I know that are watching in LA and in other places are going to be like, what? But right now, open mics are, they're back opening. They're opening back up, and they're happening around. And you putting on a show. Mm-hmm. Like I have all the equipment to put on my own show, and I put one on at the Dive Bar in January. So we, it's mainly putting on your own shows, finding other shows people are putting on, and then getting in with a Stardome or Huntsville Live, which is new. They're the new comedy club, and they're up in North Alabama in Huntsville. Wow. But yeah, it's, like I said, that was what I was saying to the other people is it's already happening back here. But the Mecca for us is like they're even talking about it on comedy pages right now, and I'm sure others have read it. People, are flocking from LA and Vegas, that they say, to Texas. And people are flocking. That's what they say. Well, that's where Rogan went. So,
Oh, he went to Austin, how that right? Went to Austin, Texas.
I believe so. Yeah. I think he went to Austin. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So other people are like, oh, Joe Rogan's going to Austin. I'm going to go there.
Yeah, well, he's also, he said he's open up at a club, and about, I don't know, at least 10 good solid comics left and went to Texas with him. So
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow,
I
how
don't
that
see
works.
it. I see it just being a separate thing. I don't see it. Everybody just goes here.
What about comedy in
But it's
Atlanta? How far away is Atlanta from you?
an hour and a half.
Hour and a half. Do you
Yeah.
do comedy there too?
I haven't done comedy there before. I
Now, you went
want
down to
to at the
Florida
punk.
recently. You were going to go all the way down to Florida and do a show, right?
Yeah, we were going to go down to Florida. I don't want to say the name because of what happened to them, but I kind of feel like I should say, if you do go down to Florida right now, understand that some of the places aren't following any of the rules. Like none of the let's stay safe rules.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. So maybe
Did you say
doing your own-
Houston?
What's that? They said
Somebody wrote Houston.
Houston sucks and Dallas blows. Uh-oh. Jack Does says he heard the state of California is trying to tax people for leaving. Oh my God. Jack
Wow.
has this YouTube channel that you should check out. He talks about horror movies. Are you into horror movies?
Right. I am.
Oh, you would like his thing. Jack Does. You should subscribe over there. You guys should.
I mean,
They're both comedians
writing
too.
it down right now.
Yeah, Jack.
Oh
Does.
yeah, right on.
Jack Does horror. Yeah, he's a good comedian. I'm gonna do another one of your jokes here. Let's go. This is a joke. Well, I'm not gonna set it up or anything. Let's just check it out.
Something funny. Government bailouts for big corporation. What up, everybody? Comedian Crazy Ray Scanlon here, and I got a joke for you. A ventriloquist is doing an act for a club in a small town in Arkansas. With a pretty sizable crowd, the ventriloquist goes through his act and starts to go through the blonde joke. Suddenly, an angry blonde woman jumps up in the fourth row. She said, "I've heard enough of your stupid-ass blonde jokes. What makes you think you can stereotype women that way? What does a person's color of hair have to do with the worth of who they are? It's guys like you who keep girls like me from being respected at work and in the community and from reaching our full potential as a person. Because you and your kind perpetuate discrimination against not only blondes, but women in general, and all in the name of humor." The ventriloquist is embarrassed and begins to apologize when the woman yells at him, "You shut the fuck up and stay out of this, mister. I'm talking to the little asshole on your knee. Hit that like it."
That's good. I like that one. So that was hilarious. I've got a blonde coming on Friday.
Oh Lord.
I'm gonna have to play that for her. Eugenia Kuzmina. Yeah, she's a comedian as well. Comedian and model. So Matt he actually had a setup to the thing about Houston sucks and Dallas blows. So I have to get back to that. So it just doesn't sound like he's just ripping on them. You've heard the one about why it's so windy in Austin, right? Because Houston sucks and Dallas blows.
That's good. I like that.
I like that. Keep the jokes coming. I'll try and set them up properly next time. Let's see. He said you only showed the punchline. There it is. Okay, so we got that now. Cama's laughing from your joke, I believe, maybe from Matt's as well. It's good stuff. Yeah. So tell me about your TikTok life, because you've been doing TikTok as a comedian, and you're blowing up.
Yeah. I had a TikTok. I think I got it last year, and I did farted around with it a little bit, did a few things on it, but it never really did anything. I was just friends with other friends. And then here recently, I started watching this guy, Robert Benjamin, and he had advice on how to blow up, and it's incentivize, which is make sure at the beginning and at the beginning you tell them what's going to happen, so you hook them in, and then at the end you make sure that you let them know that you want them to hit that plus sign. So that's why you see me be sure to like and follow, and then comment. And usually it blew my mind how quickly, when you tell them to do that, they do that.
Really?
It's just what happens. And then I made a series called, which I never knew in a million years this would be on the internet. I tell some of them on stage, but being blocked by celebrities on
Yeah,
the
that's
internet.
what I was looking at some of yours, and they're like, people are asking you questions. What's the most famous person you've been blocked by? What is the nicest thing a person said to you when they blocked you? You know, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like, what is that all
yeah.
about? Are you like some kind of internet troll?
I would say that I am, but
Yeah.
I'm not malicious
Yeah.
in what I do. Like, for instance, Garth Brooks, I was relentless in messing with him. I said, do you know how much a roll of toilet paper costs? Have you ever set foot inside of a Walmart before?
Yeah.
Do you wear your boots in the bathtub? And then after a while, I guess he got enough and he blocked me. So I usually tell the last few, which those were the last three. But I'd worked on them for almost a year, just funny stuff.
Yeah. Crazy. All right. So
And
I'm going to
people
move on
love
to,
it.
oh, what?
Oh, no, I was just saying that people love it. I didn't know they would.
Talking about how you got blocked by celebrities. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Let's see. I got a joke here. Gniel says, "Why did the armadillo cross the road?" I hope he's got a punchline because we're hanging here. I don't see one. Jack says, "What video game system did they play in the Emmy Award-winning sitcom Full House?" This is like a quiz.
I would say Nintendo because
I'm going to guess Nintendo because it's the
era.
time period. We're going to say Nintendo.
Yeah, yeah.
Gniel says, "Why did the armadillo cross the road?" Because Houston sucks. And the answer is a Saget Genesis. That's I didn't even know it was a joke. I thought it was a quiz. Bob Saget.
I thought it was a legit question.
That was good. That's good. All right. So now I got another joke that we're going to dissect here. All right, here we go.
Time, this guy was standing at the edge of the lake fishing, and he looks over and he sees his wife flailing and flashing, just splashing about in the deep water of the lake. Unable to swim, he turns freaked out to the guy next to him and goes, "Help! Help! Please save my wife! Please! She's drowning!" He's like, "I'll give you $100. The other fisherman drops his pole and dives right into the water. He swims all the way out to her, wraps his arm around her, brings her all the way back to the shore, and deposits her on the bank. He looks up at the guy and says, "Okay, where's my 100? The other fisherman says, "Look, man, when I saw her going down for the third time, I thought it was my wife." He said, "But this is actually just my mother-in-law." The other fisherman looks at him and says, "Just my fucking luck." He reaches into his pocket and says, "How much do I owe you?"
Oh man, Ray, the mother-in-law jokes. The mother-in-law jokes are always good. People love them. Let's see what the chat room said here. They said, well, Jack said he made that joke up, which he is a comedian, so I believe him. Bob Saget Genesis. Chuck says 2 eggs walking down the road. They decided to walk into a bar and go crack some yolks. Must have been a comedy bar. So, Ray, I really like it. I like it when comedians come on the show and they tell a crazy story. And I'm wondering if you have a crazy story you can tell us.
Yeah, sure, I do.
Okay, let me do the little intro, and then you're going to tell your crazy story.
Okay.
All right, here it is. I should have applause. Yay! Anyway, tell me something. Tell me a crazy story. Tell me a crazy story, Ray.
I think you'll really enjoy this. Before COVID hit, before the big shebang.
Yeah.
I flew out to LA to do some comedy. 2 weeks. But on my way out there, let me start with this, I guess. On my way out there, I had 3 layovers.
Yeah.
I'm terrified of flying. I'm just scared to death. And that's from I had edibles one time and got on a plane, and that was it.
I did the same thing.
It scared me.
I didn't even know I had edibles either. Somebody just gave me big cookies and I ate them. I went through the whole thing, got on the plane, ate these 2 giant M&M cookies, and then all of a sudden was like, whoa, I don't know if flight is actually possible, you know?
Yeah.
So you had the same experience, huh?
Well, it was my brother's bachelor party, and we all went to Colorado and had a good time.
Yeah.
And when we left, we took a picture of all the stuff that we left on the table, and we all had brought our edibles to the airport with us. And we were all talking, we're going to just put them on our carry-on. Nobody will say anything. And in line, if you've ever been to the Denver airport, they sure know how to intimidate you. So there's little deposit things at the end of each row. They make sure to put them there. Like, you better throw your shit away before you get up here. So I turned and looked at all of my buddies and my brother's buddies, and I was like, y'all going to carry him? And they're like, we're carrying him. A minute later, they looked at me and like, we're eating them. We're going to eat them. And I was like, everything? Because I've got like packets, like my pockets are full. And they're like, yeah, just eat it all. Eat it all. So I just put everything in my mouth, truffles, gummies, everything. And, I'm chewing on them and I swallow them and I turn, I'm looking at everybody. We get up to the little thing. As we get up to our terminal, I was like, you guys ate everything. Y'all ate all of yours? And they were like, oh no, we ended up throwing everything away. And I was like, wait, what? And they were like, yeah, we threw ours away.
And you ate all of yours.
It was my fault for trying to get ahead of everyone. I wanted something to eat. I hadn't eaten my fat butt, so I had to push in front of everybody. But they got scared and just threw them out and didn't want to eat them all.
Oh my God.
Mine hit me, like full blown hit me as soon as we hit altitude.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God. It was not good.
So horrifying.
My buddy was by the window. He kept opening the window and I was like, don't.
I thought I was going to have a heart attack when that happened to me.
I did.
And I was like looking around to see who looked like a doctor, who's going to save me.
You can't look for an exit, so you got to look for a savior, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what made me afraid of planes was that I didn't have that fear before. But so I'm flying. I have 3 layovers.
Yeah.
And on the second plane, I know that I'm like, I can't do this anymore. There's no smoke breaks at the airport, obviously. So I was like, what can I do? So I said, oh, you know what? I can just start ordering as much Jack Daniels as they'll give me. And I'm not a drinker, by the way. And so I'll just slam them down and hopefully I'll get, fucked up enough that I won't care. I won't even, let's fast forward to the final flight, which was from Vegas to LA. And we're flying by a storm. Like it was a light storm. It wasn't nothing heavy. And I'm extremely shit-faced.
Yeah.
But I'm also still terrified. It didn't help the situation at all. Not at all. So the plane starts just rocking and turbulence. And I'm like, oh my God. I grab on. I'm scared to death. The guy next to me just like, slaps me on the shoulder. He's like, hey, it ain't no big deal, man. This happens all the time. And in my head, I'm like, I know, asshole. I've been on planes before, but I'm still scared.
Yeah.
And then 10 seconds after he said that, we dropped 10, maybe 12 feet, like out of the air. Whoa. And as soon as we bottomed out and I was like, oh my God. And I smelled shit. And I went, oh my God, I shit my pants. That's what I thought. I thought, oh my God, I shit my pants.
Oh, literally.
Literally. Yeah. So I was like, no longer scared of the flight anymore. Now I'm sitting there going, what am I going to do when we land this thing? So we land and, I'm sitting quietly, silently. I let everybody I possibly could go in front of me and go away and get off the plane, except for the guy sitting next to me.
Yeah.
And he was just sitting there. So I finally just was like, all right, he's not going to move. So I put my hands on the rest and I stood up and I went, oh shit, it's not me. It turned out to be Mr. Man who told me to chill out.
The chill out guy crapped his pants.
Yeah, he crapped his pants. And I was even nice enough. I was like, dude, I was like, here, look, stand up and I'll follow closely behind you. Yeah. And I was like, I'll follow you all the way to the bathroom. And it worked out. I know as we were passing people, they were, doing this number, but, yeah, poor guy, but it was funny. Oh, so not the end of the story.
Yeah.
Grant, or well, I probably shouldn't say his name because what I'm about to say. Uh,
George.
the guy, yeah, the guy who put me on at Haha's there,
Yeah.
picked me up from the airport, and he says, I was like, man, he was like, what's wrong with you? Because I know I was like white, ghost white still. Yeah. And I was like, I'm shit faced. He was like, you'll pass out. I don't think so, man. I was like, I'm freaking out. And he goes, here, and he hands me a couple Ambien. And I was like, I've never had these before.
Ambien?
You know, he was like, yeah. Oh. And he was like, you'll get a good night's sleep. You'll be good by tomorrow. And I was like, okay. So I took them and I went to my hotel room. And when I came to, I guess you could say, I was standing inside of a gas station in my boxer shorts, and only my boxer shorts, with a package of Skittles and a magazine. And I don't know what I was doing. I don't know what's going on. The woman called the police on me. And because as soon as I was kind of like, you know, I looked out the window, the police had pulled up. Now I'll tell a little secret here on stage. I jokingly say that first of all, I was naked.
Yeah.
So, you know, we stretch a little bit, but I say I was naked. And then I say that when the police pulled up, I was still groggy. So I thought they were as happy to see me as I was to see them. So I ran out and jumped up and wrapped my arms and legs around them, you know, gave them a hug, and we tumbled to the ground. And I say, I don't know if police like regular hugs or not, but I'm 100% positive they don't like spontaneous naked hugs. But what ended up happening was I walked out, like I didn't even pay for nothing. I knew they were there for me. So I put my hands up and just walked outside with both of them. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. And both the guys were like, okay. And they drew their guns because obviously they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I tried to explain it to them the best I could. And then the dude came that got me, picked me up from the airport, came to the police station because he was the only contact I had, and said, look, this dude just drank too much and he's not a drinker. Yeah. And it was for him to relax. The police were freaking cool about it. So it was welcome to LA. It was freaking.
That's kind of a thing in LA too, where you, at least people that I know, you know, they black out on that Ambien and do the craziest shit and don't even know that they did it. Like you said,
it's scary.
It's scary, isn't it? I don't know why.
It really is.
I don't know why people do that stuff. Like it just seems like and who knows? You know, you could do anything. I can't even. That is a hilarious story. Now I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to do a little bit of next time you come to LA, where you should go. Because you came to LA, you only came for a little bit, right? Did a comedy at the Haha Club. And at Flappers, yeah. And at Flappers, 2 shows at Flappers. Cool. So I'm going to give you, this is an insider. I've been here for years. I'm going to show you the best places to go. Anybody out there, you can, see, you could chime in. Let's just see what the chat room says. That stuff needs to come off the market. Yeah. Ambien. I don't think you go to sleep. I think you just become a walking bottle of Ambien. Party with Ray. Yeah. Ray, Jack does. Everybody's partying. Definitely. Provide the Ambien. Okay. We're getting on to this segment. I don't know what it's called. Here it is. Okay, this is the LA travel guide for Ray. I made this just for you. And it is the don't miss places in LA. So if anybody's from LA, you can also chime in, or anybody that's spent any time down here, you could add your own. But these are mine. Don't miss places. First of all, you get off the plane, you've crapped your pants. You probably need to eat some more food. You go to Randy's Donuts, which is out there right near the airport. They got some great, they have the, I don't know if they have the absolute biggest donut, I think. Maybe the biggest in the world. I don't know. And there's a comment. A woman I knew tried to burn her friend's house down. Sleep pyro. Yeah. See, it's nuts. Wow. I know. So then if you're still hungry after you've eaten 6 donuts at Randy's, you can go to Zanku Chicken. This is me just before COVID hit. at the Zankou Chicken. I think it's the last place I ever went. I don't look happy, but it's actually a great place. It's on Sunset Boulevard. When I first came to Los Angeles, it was, there were just lines around the block to this little place on Sunset Boulevard. And it turns out it was Zankou Chicken. And basically, it was started by Armenians that were from Beirut. They came out here, they got the chicken going, and there's this incredible garlic sauce that they have that is just, I think they put crack in it. And the owner in 2003 got upset, shot and killed his sister and his mother, and then committed suicide. But they think it was dementia due to brain cancer, so you can't really hold it against him. But it is an interesting kind of aspect to the story.
Yeah. Wow.
So, and that also we have a song that we wrote. It goes up, Zankou Chicken, it's the best chicken. It's the best chicken in the whole wide world. No one knows that song except for people that watch this show. So you're welcome. Car wash burrito. I'm going to the comments here. Now, the problem is I cherry pick them and I miss the whole setup. I thought this was Joel Marshall's lunch therapy. I don't know. See, I probably missed that. Pick up a t-shirt when you're at Randy's Donuts. Oh yeah. Kamala says that they got great t-shirts. Car wash burrito. Right on. My gosh, I look aggravated. I do look aggravated in that. I never showed this picture before because I was like, wow, that's a bad picture.
Did you know it was going away soon?
Yeah, I know. Why was I so sad? I think maybe, it was like it was like a couple days before everything went into lockdown when I think I was probably just disturbed. I was like, what's going on in this world? Am I never going to get my Zankou chicken? Last thing I could eat after crapping my pants is a chocolate donut. What is the French dip sandwich place called? Oh, downtown Los Angeles. There's the place where they invented the French dip, which I didn't put this on my list. But that's a good one. I don't know what it's called. There's actually two of them, and they're warring about who invented the French dip. And you'd think it would be invented in France, of course, along with
that's French what fries. I was thinking. Yeah, along
with the French fries. Zankou uses good quality chicken. They marinate them a day before. They have shirts too. I often wear it. All right, so let's move on. Oh, I just got to see a few more. Langers. The chicken don't kill you. The owner will. They got a new slogan. I like that. I'm sure. I don't know. Okay, so this is the Museum of Jurassic Technology. This is a place in Los Angeles. It's on Pico, I believe, and it is worth going to. It is the kind of place where you really, like some of the interesting places in Los Angeles, you're walking around, you're looking at interesting artifacts, such as like portraits of dogs that were shot up into space by Russians. I think I've got a picture of that. Just weird stuff in this thing. That's what it looks like on the inside. And there's one of the dogs. This is a paint portrait of one of the dogs that went up into space. Probably never came back. Then we're going to talk about the tunnels of Los Angeles here. That's the next one. So there's all kinds of cool stuff there, but you're like, I don't know what this is, but I like it a lot. And that's the Museum of Jurassic Technology. Let's see what, wow, great chicken followed by a murder story. I didn't see that coming. Yeah, I just kind of slipped it in there. Cantor's is another
lunchtime murder mystery.
Yeah. Melting pot. Okay. So anyway, tunnels of Los Angeles. This is the one where I say you don't want to go here. You don't want to go to tunnels in Los Angeles. I don't even know why it's in the list, except that I found it really interesting when I was looking at places in Los Angeles. Oh, I keep skipping ahead. I was looking at places in Los Angeles, and apparently there's 11 miles of underground tunnels all through downtown Los Angeles. Yeah. And they've been there since the early 1900s. And they were first, I guess, for horses and for, it was just like a subway system they were trying to build. And later it was for bootleggers and, running for the speakeasies, running alcohol, rum back and forth. Yeah. And today, this is the weirdest thing is apparently, and I don't recommend anybody do this. Apparently you can access it from an elevator behind this building on Temple Street. I can't imagine, and they're supposed to be closed, but there's just this weird elevator and you go and you press the button, you go down. It's like a forgotten elevator.
That sounds sketch. That sounds really sketch.
Totally sounds sketch. Okay, so I'm losing control of my little slideshow here, but that is me with my famous muffin head hairdo at the Jerry Maguire video store. So when I was a child, we dreamed of having a video store where the only video they had there was Smokey and the Bandit, and you could rent it. There was always a copy. It was always there. But now they have the next best thing, which is a store just stocked with VHS copies of Jerry Maguire starring Tom Cruise and Renee Zellweger, which is kind of the, I guess, sort of the Smokey and the Bandit of the 90s.
Yeah, I see the connection.
Yeah. So I don't know if this is still around, but it was an entire store. I guess the guy just collected all the VHS tapes of Jerry Maguire, and he made an entire store. And I think there's thousands of them in that.
Oh, wow.
So I recommend you go there if it still exists. And it's funny too, because they have, I don't know if you know about video rental stores. They don't really have those anymore, but they used to have them, and they would show you what was coming soon on the wall. There'd be like a list of like new movies that were getting in, and it's just like Jerry Maguire, Jerry Maguire, Jerry Maguire. It's insane.
That's funny.
I love that.
Yeah. I'm old enough. I'm 39, so I was in
stores.
Oh yeah, all about them.
This is now the Cat Cafe Lounge. It's the last thing that I'm going to show you, I think. And it's just a place where you can go hang out with cats. I don't know if you like cats.
Oh, I love cats.
I love cats too. Let's see what the chat room says. Oh my God. French dip, Cole's versus Philippe's. That's the two restaurants that are warring over French dip, I guess. There's one there. I think they're right across the street from each other. It's like a battle. Jurassic technology isn't shaving cream cans filled with mosquitoes and wax. Isn't that shaving cream cans filled with mosquitoes and wax? Yeah, I think that might be there.
I get the reference.
You do? Oh, from Jurassic Park?
Yeah, Jurassic Park, yeah.
Of course. Loretta is here. I'm sticking with my Cult of the Hummingbird t-shirts. Hey, I did something to the t-shirts that are on my website, joelmarshall.com, is now they say Joel Marshall's Lunch Therapy. Because do you know Marty Croft, when he was on the show, told me you got to put your name above the title. Crayz Ray Scanlon does that. He puts his name above the title. That
was a good show.
That was a good show, wasn't it? All right, so appetizer is murder. Cantors an older Eastern European woman exhorting you to eat your vegetables. Totally. Is that tunnel from Terminator? I believe that was in Terminator. It wasn't that actually, that picture was not one of the tunnels, unfortunately. That was just a tunnel that they shoot. Every tunnel scene in every movie is filmed in that tunnel. All right, so I think we're going to have to end the show because it's spiraling out of control, Ray. So I had some, let's end it with another one of your jokes. The newlywed couple joke. What do you say?
Okay, yeah.
All right, so here we go. And then we're going to do a dance break. And the dance break is super good today. So I highly recommend you hang in there for that. But first, one more joke from Ray Scanlon.
What up, everybody? Comedian Crazy Ray Scanlon here, and I got a dirty joke for you. A newlywed couple had just moved into their house recently. The husband comes home from work one day, and the wife says, "Honey, there's a leak in a pipe in the upstairs bathroom. Could you fix it?" He says, "What do I look like, Mr. Plumber?" A few days goes by, and he comes home from work again, and she says, "The car won't start. I think it's the battery. Will you take a look at it?" He says, "What do I look like, Mr. Goodwrench?" Another few days goes by, and it's raining really bad. He comes home, and the wife is standing underneath a leak. She says, "I think there's a leak in the roof. Will you please fix it?" He says, "What do I look like, Bob Vila?" So the next day, the husband comes home from work, and the plumbing's done, the roof is fixed, and the car is fixed. The wife said, "I had a handyman come in and fix everything." The husband says, "Great. How much is that going to cost me?" She said, "Nothing. He said he would do it for free as long as I baked him a cake or fucked him." He said, "Well, what kind of cake did you bake him?" She said, "What do I look like, Betty Crocker?" Don't forget that like, hit that follow.
Oh my God. That's awesome. What do I look like? Betty Crocker? Love that. All right. So, Ray, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me, man. I had a great time.
I wish you would have brought your helicopter, though. That would have been good.
Yeah, it passed by. I'm glad it didn't pick up. Yeah.
Thank God for noise canceling.
Right.
This is the really mellow part of the show where we've got some more of the snow in the background. And we're going to, let's see what the chat room has been quite active, and I've been missing it because they got ambient time. Ha ha ha, Betty Crocker. I knew my wife would like that. Calvin would like that. Do you know the artist John Prine?
The painter?
No, he's a folk singer that just passed away.
Oh no!
If you don't know him, you should check out his music. And I'm gonna now play a cover of a song by John Prine, covered by someone named Misty Flowers, who so generously let us play the song. It moves me, so I hope it moves you. I'm gonna try not to talk during the song because I always talk. But thanks, Ray. I appreciate you being here, and hopefully you'll come on the show again sometime because we got a lot more to talk about.
Definitely. Thank you so much, man.
So I'll see you in the dance break.
Hi there, it's Misty Flowers, and there's a song by John Prine, going out to John Prine in the ethers for all those beautiful songs. Some of us spend our hours in front of a Friday night mirror, trying to figure out the kind of world where the beautiful prosper. Slicking back the kind of hair that the magazine says a lost cause. Picking out the kind of girl in your mind to go walking with you. Beautiful world, beautiful world.
Go to Misty Flowers' website. She's
sending me
a great singer.
dreams, touching my hair, making me cry. So I know I'm alive.
Stay safe down there, Ray.
Beautiful
Stay away from
world.
Will do,
those Floridans.
Why do I
Florida man.
And please, people, go to Ray's TikTok. Go to Ray's YouTube channel, especially. Crayz Ray Scanlon. It's Crayz. And of course, when you type it, your phone is going to correct it. Every time.
Yep.
I don't
Every
know
single
why I
time.
spend so much time feeling bad.
I think this song is beautiful. All right, so that's the
I
show
got
for
everything
today.
a sinner could hope for.
Thank you,
this
Crayz
side
Ray
of
Scanlon, for being here.
Eden.
Thanks, Misty Flowers, for letting us play this song. Thank you
Maybe
to the
I'll
world of
wake up
Jurassic
someday,
technology.
do
And come
what
back
I
on
should.
Friday. We're gonna have a very
Write a
special
song
guest,
for heaven and
Eugenia
earth to go
Kuzmina,
waltzing in time.
who is a world-class supermodel and a
Beautiful
comedian.
world,
What more could you want in a person?
beautiful world,
Killer combo.
Killer combo.
sending
So
me
I'll see you on Friday, and
touching my
this has been Lunch
hair.
Therapy.